welcome back to Beyond Surface Level. For this week's episode, I actually forgot to do an intro, so I'm making one right now. And uh, I'm really sorry if I look kind of crappy, crappier than usual, because I am currently in editing mode. I just finished a meeting for my org, and yeah, I'm doing editing stuff for this week's episode. And this is actually delayed. I wasn't able to post one for the previous week, and for this week's episode, I'm going to be joined by a really good friend of mine. So she's been doing track and field for half a decade already. And if you guys are feeling a bit lost or unmotivated, hopefully her story would inspire you and would guide you back to towards your passion, towards loving it, embracing it, because she's also been through those experiences or through those moments wherein she felt a bit lost, confused, and even on the verge of quitting, but she powered through, and hopefully, you guys would be inspired by her and her story. So, without further ado, here's Alana.
Hi, I'm Alana Halagueña. I'm 18 years old and I'm an incoming second year student athlete in UP-Diliman.
Okay, so actually, just a fun fact for all of you who's listening right now. Alana is actually one of my best friends, and we were practically inseparable back in senior high school. Like, if you were a batchmate, you would know for a fact that Alana and I were always together during every single class. Like, after every class or at the end of every session, we'd bring food and eat during the 15-minute interval before the next class. So we pretty much did everything together back in senior high. And ever since we became friends, I've come to know her as someone who takes her sport really seriously, who's very committed, and she trains every single day. Like, she cannot go through a day without training. It's either she would train in the morning before classes would start, and her first class would usually be at around 8, or she'd go right after class, she'd go to Ultra, which is, I think, 1 kilometer away from our school. So yeah, that just shows how dedicated she is to her craft. But with the ongoing pandemic, like, are you still able to train every day, or has that had an effect on your training schedule?
Well, with the ongoing pandemic, I haven't been training every day. I've been training every other day. I've been taking this as an opportunity to rest, but then even though I'm not training every day, I still try to eat healthy and avoid sweets because I know that will not have a good effect on me when everything goes back to normal. So, yeah.
You know what? I cannot be an athlete mainly because of the strict diet that you guys follow. Like, I 100% salute all of the athletes out there who have, I guess, the strength to be able to say no to all of these food and to maintain a strict diet. It's intense. But yeah, so going back to that, how did you start, or how did you get into track and field?
Um, Well, when I was 6 months old, I was diagnosed with pulmonic stenosis. Um, and then I think when I was 7, I was diagnosed with another heart disease. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. I think um, ventral myocarditis or something. And then I don't know what year, I don't remember, but the year of Ondoy, I got sick again. And then everyone thought it was like normal sickness wherein I just had fever and I was vomiting and stuff. But then when they when they made me undergo to the echogram, they diagnosed me with another heart disease, which is pericardial effusion. And basically I think it means like there was a lot of water around my heart and compressed my heart in a bad way. Obviously I'm not exactly sure about like what those heart problems were because I was still a kid, so I didn't really understand what they were saying. But all I remember is that I used to get sick like every year. I would be confined, and I thought it was normal. I really did. Like my life was just like, I spent most of the time in the hospital. I spent more time there than in school. So yeah, that's how sickly I was before. I wasn't even allowed to carry my own school bag. Like our bus driver would have to bring me to our classroom, and actually bus drivers or parents aren't allowed inside the building. But then since I had a note from my doctor, my bus driver was able to help me carry my stuff going there because I wasn't allowed to carry my own stuff.
Okay, so wait, you mentioned that you had a cardiovascular problem, like you had a condition. So, wait, isn't track and field like a sport that really involves cardio? I mean, I think any sport in general involves cardio, but then track and field specifically. So how are you able to overcome that? Like how did you get into sports or specifically track and field?
Well, when I was still really sickly, I wasn't really good in sports, but then my mom wanted me to become stronger physically, so she would enroll me in lessons like swimming lessons every summer. But then, um, the summer after fifth grade, she decided to make me try running. And well, my mom's uncle is a coach, and he used to be a national athlete, so she asked him to help me. I didn't really like it at all during that time because I used to get so tired. And oh wait, I forgot to mention that my mom also made my cousin go along with me so that I wouldn't get bored. But then my cousin was like really good. Like she wouldn't get tired easily, but then I would. And then it was just, to me it was just annoying because it was so tiring for me, but then to her it was like nothing. So yeah, that's how I started with track and field.
Okay, wow, that's I can't imagine you being tired from doing track and field or training because dude, you train every single day and like what I mentioned earlier, you cannot go through a day without doing any form of training. So wow, that's really cool. That's actually really cool that
Well,
you were able to do that.
yeah, it's true that now, like, if I don't train, I find it hard to concentrate on doing my schoolworks and studying. But then before, I think I couldn't even like finish one lap around the oval because it was just so tiring. And then like every time I would be there, I would always frown and stuff. And I kind of like wanted my coach to know that I didn't want to be there. And he got it, but then but then he still stuck by me and helped me get stronger until when I realized that I was becoming better, like I was getting less sick. That's when I really started training seriously, like every day.
So I guess their motivation really pushed you to be the athlete that you are now, and I'm super duper proud of how far you've come. Because okay, just a subtle best friend flex, but Alana has competed in Palarong Pambansa. She actually won an award, and she was supposed to be. This was supposed to be her rookie year for the UP Fighting Maroons, but sadly, Miss Rona, Corona, COVID-19 happened. But I'm really excited to see you get out there for season 83, right? Or 84. What
Yeah,
season is it?
83, 83.
83. Okay, so
Season 83.
sorry, not a kid with sports, not an athlete. But yeah, okay. So through all these years though, because you've been serious with track and field for how many years now?
5 years.
Okay, so 5 years. Wow,
Yeah.
the motivation. But how do you stay motivated for 5 years? What drives you to stay motivated?
Well, at first, like I said, it was my health condition that drove me. But then now, I think I could say it's God, my family, and of course everyone else counting on me because I know that my coaches and my teammates want me to have a good performance. So yeah, those are my biggest motivations right now every time I compete.
Apart from her inspiring story of being able to overcome her heart condition and eventually becoming a track and field athlete, surprisingly, she is a vegan. And this is actually the first time that I encountered a vegan athlete. Isn't meat specifically part of an athlete's diet? So, okay, can you share with everyone listening right now how a vegan diet actually works for you?
So for those who don't know the difference between veganism and vegetarian, vegetarians, vegans don't eat dairy and eggs, but then vegetarians still do. So, um, other people think that I'm a vegan because it improves my performance and stuff, and they're like, no, you need protein, blah blah. But then Actually, the only reason that I'm a vegan is because I don't support the animal cruelty that goes behind the food that normal people eat. I mean like the food that people normally eat. I mean like I don't judge other people who eat meat, but then I can't handle knowing that those animals used to be alive and then they were like slaughtered and stuff, and then you're gonna put that in your tummy. I mean, I've always been a picky eater, but then I think as the years went through, my pickiness matured because I used to only like eating fast food because it's yummy, but then eventually I learned how to eat healthier. Um ever since ever since I became a vegan, actually it's not as hard as people think. I don't like run out of energy or anything. Actually at first when I first started becoming vegan, because I jog around our neighborhood, and there are a lot of uphills here. So that I wouldn't be bored, I would always choose I would always run going up, and then whenever I'm going downhill, I would look for another uphill. So I would always count how many uphills I already went through. So when I first became vegan, I was surprised that I that in 30 minutes I already went through more uphills than I actually was able to when I still ate meat. So yeah, I guess it just shows that even though I don't eat meat, I still have a lot of energy, and I can still give my best in training. Because actually, I think like even vegetables have protein, and it's not really a big issue for me that people think I lack protein because I don't eat meat.
But then you mentioned before, I remember when you were talking one lunchtime during high school, but then I remember you mentioned that there are actually vegan alternatives to
Yeah, there
meat.
are a lot of vegan alternatives to meat right now. It's basically like vegetables that they cook to look like meat or taste like meat. I mean, I don't have an issue with how meat tastes. It's just how they're produced. So yeah, sometimes I also eat mock meat and like vegetables that they made to taste and look like meat. But then at times I also eat like just normal vegetables cooked normally without meat.
Okay, okay. So I'm not sure if this will be the first time that you've heard of a vegan athlete, but I mean, for me, when I heard Alana's story of how she's a vegan athlete, I was super surprised, and you guys might be surprised as well that there are vegan athletes. But yeah, so it just goes to show that you could still, I guess, have the same energy and be able to give the same performance, even if you have a different diet, I guess, than usual athletes. So yeah. Okay, do you have anything else more to say about like being a vegan and how it affects you? Like, what are some of the pros, I guess, that you could think of with regards to switching to a vegan lifestyle?
Um, well, whenever I don't train, like right now, I'm not really training as regularly as I used to. I don't gain as much weight than if I wasn't vegan. And like I said earlier, I actually feel like I've had more energy now that I'm a vegan than I ever did before when I wasn't.
Okay, I see, I see. So moving on from that, we've already talked about your driving force, inspiration, your motivation, what keeps you going, and what keeps you motivated to stay with track and field for half a decade already. And now I guess what are we could talk about your goals, like what your goals are, both sports and non-sports related.
Well, so next season would be my debut season since I wasn't able to compete this year. And I guess I just want to give a really good performance. Hopefully, I want to win a medal in the UAAP. Um, I wanna get a new personal best. Well, actually, this year my goal was to break the national junior record, but then since all the meets have been cancelled and next year is my last year as a junior, I actually don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that since I don't know when we're gonna have sports competitions again. But yeah, those are my goals in terms of sports. And I guess outside sports, I just want I just wanna get be able to get good grades despite having to balance my academics with training. And yeah, that's it for now.
It's okay, no worries. But what course are you taking currently in UP?
BA European languages.
And how is it related to what type of work you would want to have after college?
Well, actually, I took BA European languages because well, I'm interested in learning European languages. I mean, I won't learn all, but then some. And I guess I also want to learn more about the culture of other countries. And maybe hopefully after college I would hopefully work in the embassy or in Europe.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that you actually want to do something as well outside of sports, and that's the European languages is actually pretty far, I guess, from what you're doing right now with athletics, but that's actually really cool. And now, I guess, what advice can you give for people who have gone through the same things that you did, or for those who feel unmotivated at times? So maybe, okay, we could divide that. We could first talk about what advice you could give for people who are probably have like a similar condition, heart condition right now, and they want to get into sports, but then they think that they will not be able to do so because of their condition, or for those who really just want to, I guess, get into sports.
Well, for people who have like heart conditions or any other sickness, I guess first, if you wanna try getting into sports because you think it will help you get stronger physically, first ask your doctor because of course it's scary if your if your doctor isn't going to allow you because maybe like your condition is really serious. But then if your doctor allows you, um it's gonna be hard at first, but then it's also gonna be worth it because nothing worth having will be easy. And for those who are like normal people who just want to get into sports, it's still gonna be hard unless like there's some people who are naturally gifted and physically strong. But yeah, actually yeah, it isn't easy because you really have to have discipline if you're serious about wanting to compete and stuff in any sport.
What advice can you give for people who feel unmotivated at times?
Feeling unmotivated is normal. I mean, there are actually times wherein I feel unmotivated, but then whenever I don't have any motivation, the only thing I'm relying on is my discipline because I know that I need to do this for me to be like with training. There are times wherein I don't want to train anymore because I was already so drained during the day, like with school stuff. But then I know I have to train if I wanna win or if I just wanna give a good performance. So even though I feel really lazy and unmotivated, I still get up and just do it because I know it will be worth it in the end. So yeah, it's normal to feel unmotivated. I just really rely on my discipline.
So I guess it could be connected to what you're mentioning earlier about how you really have to guess to know your why, know your purpose for what you're doing, so that you would continuously be motivated, I guess, to continue or to push through with whatever you're doing. So, lastly, before we end tonight's podcast, do you have anything to promote or anything you want to highlight? Like you could promote your Instagram, or if you have any advocacy or online business that you want to promote, then feel free to do so.
Follow me on Instagram, yay! And well, actually, pretty soon I'm also gonna be selling some of my clothes because I need to declutter. So, yeah, stay tuned. I think Bea will share it, and you probably know her. So, yeah, just wait for her to share it.
Hey, okay, what about those people who would come across, like suddenly just come across this
Then you
podcast?
should
They
follow
wouldn't know
Bea
me, so what?
and follow me on Instagram. Follow us
Okay,
on
okay,
Instagram.
you know what? I'll just okay. I'll plug Alana's Instagram since she doesn't want to. It's at ALANAHALAGUENAA, because the single A used to be her old account, but yeah, and also I'll just link her social media down below. So once again, that's it for this week's episode of Beyond Surface Level. If you have further questions, feel free to send them over at the Instagram account of Beyond Surface Level, which is at Beyond Surface LVL. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.